All right, it's Thursday here in Manila. Good morning, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Karen Davila, giving you the head start for the day. But then again, even if it's Valentine's, there's no going soft on any of the senatorial candidates. Our hot copy this morning is Una senatorial candidate Migz Zubiri is with us this morning. We'll be asking him the questions. Will he make it to 2013? JC De Los Reyes, today, Thursday, someone from Una, years after his controversial resignation from the Senate amidst allegations of election irregularities in 2011. Migz Zubiri is making another Senate bid. Let's watch this.
He had a safe finish in the 2007 senatorial race under Team Unity, edging out his closest rival, opposition candidate Aquilino Pimentel III. But Pimentel filed an electoral protest before the Senate Electoral Tribunal or SET, contesting the proclaimed results of the 12th senatorial position in Maguindanao. In August 2011, the tables turned on the heels of exposés over alleged irregularities in the 2007 polls.
I'm resigning because of these unfounded accusations heard against me.
Juan Miguel Zubiri resigned his Senate seat in a bid to clear his name. About a week later, citing spurious ballots, the SET proclaimed Pimentel as the 12th winning senator in the 2007 polls and served the remainder of his term. This year, putting the past behind him, Zubiri is banking on his rich legislative experience for another Senate bid. From 1998 to 2007, Zubiri served the 3rd District of Bukidnon and was always cited as one of the most outstanding solons in the House of Representatives. In 2008, at the age of 39, he was the youngest to be elected Senate Majority Leader since the first Congress in 1946 and helped steer the Senate to a record performance of around 650 bills enacted into law. As a legislator, he authored and sponsored more than 20 major laws, some of them as a fervent advocate of clean energy. Running under the ticket of the United Nationalist Alliance, this time Zubiri hopes his fresh bid for the Senate will be untainted with controversy.
And joining us on Hot Copy, United Nationalist Alliance senatorial candidate Migz Zubiri is with us. Good day to you, Migz.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's. I was going to say, it must be difficult to an extent to be Migz Zubiri, the politician, after what you've been through. Seriously.
Yes, that was a very, interesting time in my life. But my resignation, I would consider one of the proudest moments of my life. It was a difficult thing to do. Everybody told me, as you remember, we talked about it many times, people would say it's political suicide. But against all odds and against all, pleadings from my colleagues and friends, I had to do what was right. And,
but in the last,
I'm very happy with my decision.
Yeah, in the last 2 years, you also could not live down all the accusations of he benefited from cheating. I'm sure he knew. Did he think what he was doing was, he was just trying to escape it? At some point he would have gotten caught. And now to recover from that.
Yes. You
know what I mean?
Yes. On the issue that he benefited from the cheating, that's true. And I acknowledge that I benefited together with the 12 others who benefited, who got the top 12. And but we had at that time no proof or no concrete evidence that it actually happened until the time that these two very important witnesses had come out, Bedol and Apatuan, and of which I did not anymore extend a week longer in office. I decided to resign right away. It caught everybody by surprise. Even the only people I spoke to were a few of my colleagues and some lawyers. And I clearly remember Senate President Juan Ponce Enrile castigating me. He really literally shouted and said, "Don't do that. That's you're the duly proclaimed senator. You were affirmed by the Supreme Court. You wait till your protest to end." Because I would have still been a senator if I decided to stay. Because the protest would have ended this week.
Exactly.
Actually, February of 2013. But I said no. I had to do what was right out of delicadeza. You know, public office is a public trust, Karen. And you and I know it's very important what the people perceive you to be. If they think that you're a cheater, then no matter how much legislation I pass, no matter how much work I do, they'll always see me, oh, he doesn't deserve to be there. So it's best to let go and start anew. And that's what I'm doing now.
All right, you're the first person, the first candidate who actually has said it on cam without batting an eyelash. Yes, that's true. We benefited from cheating.
Yeah, because
Did you know it then?
no, that's my point. We didn't know. We had no knowledge of that. We did not participate in that. And as a matter of fact, even when my best friend, consider him my BFF, Senator Coco Pimentel, always
Yeah.
says that, you know, that he was cheated. That's right. I acknowledge that he was cheated, but not by us. By those people who are in jail right now, and they were caught for that.
Now,
So
you know,
that's the point.
you are Senator Coco Pimentel's election campaign.
That's all right by me. Alam naman, I moved on already on that, and I keep saying that it's not my fault. It wasn't our fault. If we had participated, I would have been in jail by now. And you know, as I've said this like a broken record, we had no participation, we had no knowledge. Even those who were witnesses who spoke up never said that the candidates were involved. They did it on their own cognizance. So, bakit naman pati kami pinaparusahan? Kaya nga, binigay ko na nga sa kanila eh. If we imagine, Karen, if we were involved in this, why would I give it up? I'd fight to the very end. That defies political logic in our country. Lahat ng politiko, Karen, gusto nilang umupo sa posisyon hanggang mamatay sila, ipapadlock pa nila yung opisina. They'll padlock it, they'll go to the Supreme Court, they'll delay all motions or all orders so that they stay in power. I defied all political logic by giving up my position and say, I'll just run again. I just want to seek a fresh mandate. I had no participation on this. And I hope the people will believe me in saying that. Because really, Karen, in all honesty, in my heart, I just want to serve the people well, and I don't want to be tainted by any election victory. I want to have an untainted election victory in 2013, and I'm so happy that we're going into the automated elections, because you know what was happening then? 2 months, remember, Karen, from the day of the elections till we were proclaimed, for 2 months it was a battle for votes in different provinces that were coming in, that were all through manual counting. That's why I support the automated elections.
Okay. Now, what's quite interesting about you is even after your very historical Senate moment and what you've been through is the fact that people seem to be very forgiving of you. You are number 7, I think, in SWS. You are number 9 in Pulse Asia, if I got my memory serves me right.
Number 10.
Number 10 in Pulse Asia. To be in the top 12 in the surveys, what does that say to you?
Well, I think it's because of my track record. I really believe it's because of my track record.
Do you feel people have really forgiven you, like they've gotten past it when you campaign?
I think it was a big impact when I resigned. They saw that hindi naman ako kapito ko, and that we acknowledged the mistakes that happened, and that I decided to be a man enough about it and decided to let go of the position. You're correct, it's unprecedented, Karen. This is the first time in the history of the Philippines that a top official of any government agency would actually resign out of an election protest. I mean, we have barangay captains who padlock themselves in their positions, refusing to let go by whatever means so that they can stay in power. For me, power is not what I'm seeking. It's public service. So for me, it's just a job. It's a job that we have to do well. And hindi naman sa pagyayabang, Karen, in my 4 years when I was there, I think I did a pretty decent job. I've had the perfect attendance. I'm the only one in the records of the Senate and the House since 1998.
Even in the House?
1998,
My God, no, that's
Karen.
pretty serious.
Since 1998 till 2011,
All the session days?
All the session days, I have not been absent once.
Did you ever see Jack Enrile?
I see him around.
Okay, all right. No, I meant in the House.
Yes, oh
kidding.
yes, I see. I used to see him a lot.
Okay.
But kidding aside, when I was majority floor leader, and I have the privilege and honor to serve with the Senate President as majority floor leader for 2 years, in 2008 to 10, that was the best performing Senate in history, in recent history. We passed 660 or 670 Republic Acts. This year they were bragging that
300.
300. But to the 14th Congress, we passed, you put together the 11th, the 12th, and the 13th Congress combined. We had more output in terms of Republic Acts. And these were decent, very important pieces of legislation. The Renewable Energy Act, the Cooperative Code, we passed the Cheaper Medicines Act, we passed the UP Charter Amendments, we passed the Disaster Management Act. We passed a lot of very key pieces of legislation. Economic legislation, a lot as well, and which is benefiting the country now. So It's just not just quantity, but it was quality legislation.
Yeah. Do you
And I
get
think people see
frustrated?
that.
Do you get frustrated that, look, you know, you never had absences. You are like present every session day. That's something major to say. And I went through everything you've actually authored. It's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Do you get frustrated that sometimes people don't even know about it and it doesn't
Yes.
seem to matter to some people?
That was my biggest frustration. Actually, I had a long talk with my wife before I resigned, and happy Valentine's. Can
Yeah,
you get in?
okay,
Happy
go ahead.
Valentine's, my sweetheart. And my daughter's watching too.
Okay.
And basically, that's what my biggest frustration was.
Yeah, people don't seem to look at
I
what...
told Audrey, and I said, you know what? We've done so much in the last 4 years. I've worked my ass off. Can I say that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I worked my butt off for the
Yeah.
last 4 years, and yet they just remember Maguindanao. They just associate me with Maguindanao. And that was really driving me bananas. It
Yeah.
really literally was driving me bananas. Because napakasayang naman yung lahat ng ginawa ko sa 4 na taon na yun. And not even that, even prior to that as a congressman.
Okay, quickly. Have you ever spoken with former President Arroyo today? I mean, recently.
I have not seen her or spoken to her since she's been incarcerated
Okay.
in the hospital.
Because one of the comments I also heard about you was when you were a young congressman, you were part of the Spice Boys that actively worked for the impeachment of former President Estrada.
Yes.
And now you are with UNA.
Yes.
Isn't that...
Well,
I mean,
first of
people
all,
may
me
charge
joining...
with balimbing for that.
Balimbing would probably be somebody who's changed parties like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
I've only changed party once. And the reason was, in 2010, we had local problems with Lakas. They made it an open field or free for all in our province,
meaning
which
they-
angered us.
Okay.
So 2010, I left Lakas. So let's get that clear. I was already an independent in 2011.
Okay.
And
all right.
Jingoy Estrada, Senator Jingoy, whose birthday is coming up, by the way,
Yeah.
was actually inviting me and saying, you know, you were our majority floor leader, you work well with us, why don't you join us? The Senate President, whose birthday is also today,
Yeah,
happy birthday, sir,
okay, yeah.
invited me to join because he said, look, you've done so much with us together, let's keep this partnership alive. So they were the ones who invited me.
And how
Then
was your
VP
meeting with
Binay
ERAP
also
first?
invited me.
Yeah, but how was your meeting with ERAP?
He was very
When you
gracious.
first met him.
He was very gracious about it. Very gracious and forgiving about it. And you know, let's give the guy a break. He went to jail, he served his time, and he was pardoned. So he went through the process and he was pardoned. What I like about the president, the former president, and this party is their heart is with their masses. With the masses. It's with the people, in which really comes together with my reform agenda, which is, for example, my free, yung libreng pampagamot.
Yeah. In
sagot ng
Bukidnon,
gobyerno.
apparently. We'll talk
Yes,
about that
we'll
later.
talk about that later.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, very quickly now. If you were a senator, a yes or no, RH bill?
No.
Why not?
Well, I'm pro-condom, anti-abortion, but there are certain provisions that they placed in there that I'm not sumasang-ayon.
All right,
I'm
very
not
quickly,
very
can you
good
name
at.
me one?
For
Because now
example,
it's a law, but
the
go ahead.
age-appropriate education for children.
Okay.
You know, I don't want my 10-year-old or my 12-year-old to be learning how to use a condom. This is a study
What do
that
you
was
mean,
done
in school?
in school.
Okay.
This is a study done in England. That's why the United Kingdom has the number of preteen age pregnancies. Preteens, these are 11, 12-year-old kids.
Meaning the highest number.
The highest number, they have the
Okay.
highest rate, pregnancy rate, is because the kids are taught at 10, at 11 how to use a condom, what they should be doing, what they should be not doing, and then these kids experiment. They go to parties in their house and say, oh, you know, I got my father's condom, let's try it out. So that's what happens, and I don't want my children to be going through that. For me, it's something that should have been done a little older, maybe when they're in high school, and not age appropriate. They should have put an age limit. They should have put a level of in school where they can learn. But right now, it's a free-for-all.
Okay.
And I'm against that.
All right, but you are pro-contraception, apparently. You just said.
On condoms, on certain contraceptions.
Only condoms. I mean, you're not for the pill, the UTI.
The pill is okay. I don't want to be a hypocrite, of course. You know, my
Yeah.
wife also uses the pill.
Okay.
But as again, I said that on this particular measure on RH, there are certain provisions that I am against, and I feel it will proliferate immorality.
Okay, all right. Now, syntax.
Syntax.
Of
That's
course.
a tricky question.
Yeah, this is now a law, but I'm curious
That's
if
a
you were
tricky
senator.
question
Yeah.
because the syntax, it's kind of a difficult way to answer by yes or no, because a lot of industries will be affected. I'm an agri guy. I'm an agribusiness guy.
Yeah,
I'm
but you're
from UPLD.
sugar.
No, one of my forte is food security
Okay.
and agriculture, and it affects a lot of the agricultural products or the tobacco producing areas. Even ethanol comes from sugar, which is produces alcohol for drinks.
Okay.
So it affects the industries. However, I'm also a health advocate. So it kind of puts me in a spot because I am also anti-smoking. I really, I'm
You don't
against
smoke,
that.
okay.
I don't smoke, and
Okay.
I don't like people smoking in the same room or in the same area
Yeah.
where the public actually stays in.
So if
it's
you were
kind
a
of,
senator, I'm curious, which version would you have voted for? The recto version or the one that's passed?
I may have supported the recto version.
Wow, that's
I
tough.
may have supported because.
But at least you
because
can
of-
think for yourself. I have
Yeah,
to say,
because
it's
of-
not popular.
It's not popular,
It's
and
not.
I know a lot of doctors will probably get mad at me and get upset with me at that. It's because I wanted a gradual. It would have been a gradual raise,
Okay.
not a one-time syntax that would have killed the industry.
All
What
right.
I wanted is a gradual raise so that the farmers will have an alternative to get into other agricultural products.
Divorce.
No,
No. All right. Chacha, is there any reason for charter change?
several.
Like,
We're
would
losing-
you are for
On,
that?
on economic provisions.
Okay.
We'll discuss economic provisions. Alam mo, Karen, linalampasan tayo ng napakaraming mga kumpanya. Many companies are going to Thailand. They're going to Indonesia.
Yeah.
They're actually the apple of their eyes, Indonesia. Why? Because it's so difficult for foreign investors to come here under the 60-40 rule. There's no crazy company owned from abroad will come here and say, I'll pay for everything, but
Yes.
I'll only own 40%.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to bring in that kind of investment. So we have to look at the economic provisions. And for example, the sale of land.
Yeah.
Agricultural land should
Thailand
be...
is long lease, though. They don't sell, but long lease. Like 100 years or
Yes,
200. I
but
think
other
something
countries like Indonesia, I think they allow the sale.
They do.
I think even China, they allow sale. But the thing is, it should never be agricultural land. And we should make it difficult to convert agricultural land into industrial land or residential land. I'm okay if the sale is residential or commercial. Why? Because anyway, they can't bring that land to them back to the United States. They can't bring it to Europe. But for example, we have a lot of cases where foreigners actually want to live here.
Yeah.
And they want to buy a home. But what happens is they marry a Filipina out of convenience so that they can buy a home, and then they're duped. The wife. We've seen that so many times in
all
TV
right.
Patrol.
Okay, quickly, gun ban.
I'm for a stricter control on guns.
Yeah, but you
Gun
don't
ban-
carry a gun.
No, I don't
No,
carry
you
a gun.
don't,
But
you
I,
don't.
but I have a collection. I like guns.
You
but,
do?
but I keep it at home.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you don't carry them.
I don't carry a gun. I don't
Okay.
carry a firearm at all. I always wear T-shirts, so
Yeah, you
everybody
don't
can
believe
hug
in.
me.
Do
And,
you believe in the permit to carry?
okay,
Because Senator Ping Lacson
I'm
clearly
okay with
does not.
ownership. Gun ownership is fine with me. You want to buy a firearm, okay, keep it at home. But before you buy the firearm, you have to go through a very extensive training for gun handling. Because people, you can now go to the stores or to the, gun shows.
Yeah,
Buy a gun, you pick it up 2 weeks after.
in SM.
And nobody knows if you know how to use a gun, right? So what happens is they shoot themselves, or they shoot their partners, or they shoot their families, or family members because they don't know how to handle the firearm. So there should be an extensive 2-week training for gun handling or 1-week training.
Really?
And when it comes to permit to carry, it should be limited to a list.
To a list.
To a list.
Okay.
And anything
Out.
out of that list, if
Out.
they're given, that person who gave that permit
Yeah.
to carry should be kicked out of office
Yeah.
and or charged. At the same time, the person who has that particular permit to carry, if he's not on the list, is fraudulent, so he could be charged too.
Should bodyguards of politicians be allowed? I'm
Well,
sure because you're going to say
That's part of-
policemen.
No, that's part of the list.
That's part of the list.
Elected officials,
Okay.
media should be part of the list.
I don't think so, but then go ahead. Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
be
go, yeah,
worried
yeah,
if you
fine.
carry a 45.
Yes,
but
yes.
but definitely some media because they're
Okay.
under threat. Let's say the particular employees like the treasurer
Okay.
or the what
Yeah,
you call
yeah.
the disbursement
Disbursement
officer
or BIR.
BIR, customs.
Okay.
These people are all right with me, but not just any Tom, Dick, and Harry. I meet people that are 21-year-olds, 23-year-olds. They go out at bars. They're bringing bags, and I'm saying, "What is
I
that?" "Oh,
agree.
that's my gun." "And how did you get a permit to carry for that?" "Oh, easy, $10,000 and you have a permit to carry." Seriously, that's what they tell me. And I'm appalled. Of course, I can't do anything about it right now because I'm a civilian. So yes, I am for stricter control, especially with the release of the permit to carry.
Okay, so that's a good advocacy, actually.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to privatization of public hospitals, you've spoken about this extensively.
Yes,
because
yes.
in Bukidnon, to be fair to you, is the United Nations did cite the public hospital in Bukidnon, now, which is a very poor province, but everything is free.
Yes.
So how did you do that?
You know, first of all, on the first question, I am totally, completely opposed to the privatization of, right now there's 24 hospitals in line. Orthopedic hospital is the first. I think East Avenue, even in Cebu, Vicente Soto, when I took that up in my speech, everybody was raring to and actually upset about the whole
But why
thing.
are you against? If you become a PhilHealth member, the idea is it's still going to be free. PhilHealth will pay for it.
It's not free. Believe me, Karen. That's the reason why we did our program in Bukidnon. When I started in 1998, I was wondering why there were 200, 300 people lining outside of our house in Maramag, Bukidnon. And I asked each and every one of them, 95% of their problems was health. They couldn't pay for their doctors, they couldn't pay for their medicines, even just a mere ultrasound they couldn't pay. So what we did was, me and my father, we decided to go share our funds and go into a very extensive PhilHealth program. We got 165,000 families in our initial attempt. That's why we are perennial winner at that time for PhilHealth awards, no? Because we're the largest at that time, 165,000. You know what? The lines disappeared, but after a month, they even doubled. The lines outside the house. Why? Because they kept saying, Congressman Migz, the PhilHealth is not enough. It only pays for 40% or 50% of the bill. So you still have to pay the other 50%. So if the bill is 10,000 bucks, they have to pay the 5,000, and PhilHealth only pays 5,000. And they don't even have money to pay for 200 pesos to buy pamasahe to go to the hospital. So out of sheer frustration, what we did was we modified our program. We made it a provincial indigenous health program. And it's very interesting because what we did...
How did you do it? I mean, where did you get the money?
Well, we built...
In Bukidnon?
Well, we got a soft loan from JICA. JICA helped us.
How much?
240 million. It was sort of like a loan and grant. Pesos.
But how do you pay that back? That's a very good model.
We actually paid them back already.
But where did you get the money to pay them back?
We have an era. The province of Bukidnon has an era. It's about 1.3 billion. We have a pretty big era. And that a large portion of that is allocated to health. You have to remember that the reason why I want to make it into a law, Karen, is that not everybody, not every province thinks like us. For them, it's if they're corrupt, they will put it in a road system so that they make money out of the road system. In our case, it's health. And the reason, what we have done is built 3 hospitals. Northern Bukidnon, Central Bukidnon, and Southern Bukidnon. And what we have done is put the best equipment, brand new equipment. Doctors, we hired more doctors. We hired more nurses.
But using the 240 million of JICA?
No,
using that
was only for the construction of the hospital. We spend about 100, 150 million a year of the provincial funds to maintain the hospitals so that it's free. And we practice what PhilHealth now calls in their program, no balance billing. It was us who started it, the no balance billing. Wala na silang babayaran, pirma lang. But it will only work if we refurbish the hospitals, Karen, because many hospitals there, government hospitals, are like morgues. You go in alive, you get out dead.
And there's
you have to really refurbish
no equipment, no medicine.
Correct. So what I want to do is through legislation. I know a lot of people are saying this, that we've been doing this. I know in your show, Senator Lauren, with all due respect, are saying she has a bill about it. But even her bill and the bill of Pia Cayetano was patterned after the Bukidnon model.
Really?
Yes. Actually, they sent a team, the Senate Committee on Health sent a team to see the Bukidnon model because it really works. But we cannot sustain it. We need help from the national government. So under our law, we want national government to do it all over the country, similar to Canada, Australia, Spain, Italy, France. My sister used to live in France, and when she used to live there, she had that surgical operation. You know what?
Everything was free.
She only paid 200 euros because she was only a resident. But if she was a French citizen, free.
Okay. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue our discussion with senatorial candidate Miguel Zubiri. Hot Copy will be right back. Welcome back to Hot Copy. With us is United Nationalist Alliance senatorial candidate Migz Zubiri. All right, what you're supposed to do, Migz, is this. Look at the photo quickly. Describe. Describe. You have to do it fast. All right, let's go. Describe. First photo.
GMA, hardworking. She was very hardworking.
God, you're such a thinker. It's supposed to be instinctive.
Hardworking.
Okay. Next. Okay.
Was once powerful.
Was that traumatic? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking. Clearly was once powerful. That's.
It was. The family was very powerful at the time, especially in Mindanao. You know, when you give too much power, sometimes you fall from grace, and that's what happens. I mean, they have to face all their court cases.
Are you thankful? I mean, this is Alde Ampaton. Are you thankful? Are you disgusted when you see his photo?
We don't condone massacres. Definitely, you know, if you break the law, I don't care who you are, you can be the Pope, and you have to go to jail. It's as simple as that.
Okay, next.
An elderly statesman. I think I've had the privilege to work. No, seriously, I've had the privilege to work with that gentleman, and I'll tell you, it was a privilege.
All right, now I'm curious, was he right in the MOOE, not giving everyone equal amount? Quickly.
I would say that was the mistake, but on giving MOOEs, you just have to know and make sure that it is properly spent.
Okay, so it was a mistake. Rumors of him and Attorney Gigi Reyes, the Chief of Staff.
I don't think it's true. He's 89 years old. I don't want him to die of a heart attack or some sort of using Viagra or something. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, next photo.
How do I explain? I have a funny feeling this photo was going to crop up. An intelligent person, but angry.
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 When you see each other, what do you say?
I haven't seen him since our last interview together. I haven't seen him.
But are you angry at Coco at all?
No, I'm not angry with anyone, Karen. Really.
Honestly.
Can
you be this normal? You don't get angry at all?
Have you seen
Coco has insulted you, has called you a beneficiary to cheating. You knew about it. And that you kept some of it in Bukidnon, the warehouse.
Oh my God, that's
malicious
thoughts. Oh, unbelievable. But really, in all honesty, Karen, I was upset at one point in time because he had the press. Remember when I joined UNA and he said, I'll leave UNA?
Yeah.
And he came up with a big press con. That was the day of my mother and father's 50th wedding anniversary. And it destroyed the whole mood of our anniversary. We were all together for the family for the first time. You know, 50-year anniversary happens only once in a lifetime.
All right.
And that's when I got upset. But now it is all behind me because I feel that this is not a one-on-one fight. The Senate is not a one-on-one fight. I don't want to fight Coco Pimentel. I want to fight poverty. I want to fight education for our children. That's what I want to fight.
Pero clearly hindi ka pikon. Mahirap ka pikonin eh. No, really, I swear.
Yes. Well, I'm the one in the Senate who practiced ice cream diplomacy.
Oh my God, what is that?
No, when all the senators, when I was majority floor leader to get people to pass legislation, when I see them fighting, I would ask for a 1-minute suspension, take them to the back, and feed them Häagen-Dazs ice cream.
Oh my God.
And if they were not eating ice cream because they couldn't eat sugar or they were diabetic, like Senator Joco Arroyo, I would go out and buy them sugar-free ice cream.
Okay, all right.
Pampalamig ng ulo.
Next photo.
Eco Warrior.
Yeah.
Really, I'm proud of that. I run
the
largest Northern Mindanao. In Northern Mindanao, it's the largest rescue center, and we rescue animals.
All right. Now, you were the author of the Wildlife Conservation Act.
That's right.
It's now a law, am I right?
That's correct.
Okay. Now, some people may criticize you very quickly that plastic ka, ipokrito ka, pagdating sa pagiging environmentalist.
Alam mo, Karen, bago pa ako naging politiko, we've already set up several foundations like the Philippine Deer Foundation and the Catala Foundation, which is active in situ conservation programs in Palawan. Way before I was into politics.
All right.
I'm not just talk, we actually walk the
Okay, all right. Ang dami kasing photos, kinukulit nila ako. Photo.
My father, my idol. You know, I'll tell you what. When you had me in your show one time, and you said, "What does your dad say? Did your dad want you to stay in position because you felt my dad was a traditional, more of a traditional politician?" My answer to you was no. He was the one who told me, "You clear our name because we don't get involved in any of these scams." In Bukidnon, we've never had an electoral controversy.
All right,
So
next.
he was my idol. He's
Your
my idol.
Okay, next. Oh,
My
your
mother. Of course, I'm a mama's boy. What can I say? You know, all boys
You're
are
a
always a
mama's
mama's
boy, huh?
You know why? My mother had 2 miscarriages previous to me. So she really stayed in bed to take care of me for all of 9 months. So when I came out, I became, well, I don't know if my brothers will get upset, but I became like her favorite. So I'm very happy with her.
What's very
I'm
interesting...
very happy with her. I love my mother.
Yeah, but what's amazing about your mom is your mom had cancer.
Oh,
Am I
she's
right?
a survivor.
Yes, she had where is the
I'm
cancer
so happy
exactly?
that you
Yeah.
It was between her eye and her brain.
And when
She's had 2 major brain surgeries. And you know, for a few months after that, she got into depression, and then she snapped out of depression, and she said, "You know what? C'est la vie. Let's enjoy life. We have our life. We have our love. We have our family." And she has been my inspiration to keep fighting and moving on. She's my #1 fan, next to my wife, Audrey.
All right, next. Sino
Oh
to?
my goodness, that
Is
was
that you?
that was me in my 25th, my parents' 25th wedding anniversary.
My God, that was you before. You were skinny. Okay, next. Next.
Sorry.
My God,
I
how did
gained
they
some weight for that.
research this?
Oh yes.
Next. What is that?
That is when I won the World Championship for our niece.
Okay.
The World Championship in 1989. I was world champion for the light heavyweight division.
Now, I'm going to ask you this. Forgive me for asking this. I don't want to be Senator Miriam, but prior to getting married, there were rumors that you were gay.
Actually, I'm a lesbian. I'm lesbian.
Okay, all right.
I love women.
All right, next.
You know where that came out from? Because you know, I'm a barkada.
No, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm a barkada. I'm a barkada.
Yeah.
And I'm a kind of like an emotional love kiss kind of guy. You know,
Yeah,
with my
that's
wife.
rare. Do you really love kiss, no?
Yeah, love kiss. We're family. We're love,
Okay.
hug and kiss family. So sometimes with my friends, I can get really, you know, we can get
But
BFF,
you heard this too.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't bother me.
All right, okay.
You're not sikat if they don't consider you gay in the showbiz and politics.
Okay.
In the
All right,
showbiz and politics.
next. Our EP. Oh my God.
You know, it is Valentine's Day, and my wife is watching. She was my former girlfriend, and you know, I wish her well, and I'll say that she's a passionate person.
Did she
Very
help you
passionate.
become nationally well known? You think, looking back?
Oh, no, I don't. I'm a gentleman, so I don't really like to talk about past relationships. What's important for us is that we're still friends, and I'm friends with all my few exes. I've only had a few exes. I'm a good boy.
All right, next. Like, I'm being harassed in the studio by the EP, the 4D. Oh, all right.
I love you, Odds.
I love you too. Oh, come on, go. I want to hear it.
When I was young, I prayed to God to give me someone to love. I prayed and I prayed, hoping it would reach the heavens above. There would come one, or even 2, but nothing felt right until there was you. With your smile so fresh, your eyes so bright, with your lips so soft, your mind so right. Then I knew my prayers were answered, for in your eyes I could only see that my love would never die and will continue to always be. And as we go through each day together, the more I realize that we were meant for each other. And before I sleep each passing night, I look at the moon and the stars shining so bright, and I'm awed at God's beauty.
That was a poem I wrote for my wife when I proposed to her.
Oh
You're
my
getting me
God.
emotional. Was that a surprise you were saying?
I was surprised myself. I mean, this
Wow,
is ANC.
okay.
I don't know the things they plan here. Oh
She's
my
the
gosh.
love of my life.
But I don't
The
even.
love of my
I'm
life.
so amazed with ANC. Where did you even get that video?
I have no clue how they are able to get that video. Absolutely no clue.
Oh my God, you're crying.
Your EP worked well with mine.
Wait.
You know,
But-
it is Valentine's, and I have a happy, wonderful marriage. We have 2 beautiful kids, and I thank my wife for that. She's a wonderful wife and mother. She writes a column every week for Inquirer.
Yeah.
It's a young mother's column.
Yeah.
And she's been such a wonderful supporter of my campaign. She's a foundation. I love her dearly. What can I say?
If you were not married and you ended up resigning, that scandal happened in the Senate, do you think you would have survived? Because the day you resigned, your wife was there with you.
She was the rock of my foundation. Without her, I would have gone crazy. I mean, it was a difficult time of my life, and you need people to be beside you who can support you, that you love very much and love you back unconditionally. Of course, you can do that, or you can have a dog, but the dog can't talk to you.
Okay, now we don't have enough time. I mean,
Yes, thank you
we
for
could
that.
have gone
That
through
was
so
a
much. That was a
wonderful-
nice surprise for
That was a
Valentine's.
wonderful surprise.
All right,
Thank you.
okay, now last words I'm going to ask you. Is Migz Zubiri worth it to vote for in 2013? I mean, do you honestly think what do you need this 2013 for people to really say he really won? They really want him in the Senate.
It will be self-serving for me to sell myself. But I would just say, vote for people that have experience, that have a track record. And in fairness to me, I've had a pretty decent track record, or better than average track record. I passed enough laws to make a difference in this country. I've worked hard enough to have a perfect attendance in Congress and the Senate since the time I started. I'm a family man. I'm a God-fearing man. I'm actually a Marian devotee. That's what also shapes my decisions on certain legislation. And for me, what is important is family. I believe charity should begin at home. You look at a candidate, see first if they're even loved by the people beside them, around them, because that will show the true character of the person. And in my case, being a family man, I prioritize family above everything. For me, that's the most important.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Miguel Zubiri, thank you for coming
Happy
to
Valentine's! Happy Valentine's, sweetheart!
the show. All right, let's get
Oh, we have
started
something
today.
for you.
Aba,
I have something for you,
tingnan mo
Karen.
naman, it's the classic Migz Zubiri,
I have
Pastor.
something for you.
My God, the perennial nice guy.
Kung hindi ka pa
ano naman
bibigyan
yan?
Ah, DJ!
Okay, may
Oh.
asawa. Nax, I have flowers for Migz and DJ, my husband.
There you
Sweetheart,
go.
thank you. I love you. All right, let's get started today. Replay of Miguel Zubiri's interviews at 6 p.m. tonight, 4:30 a.m. tomorrow. We'll give you the weekend schedules. I'm Karen Davila. Have a good day, everyone. And think wisely when you choose a candidate this coming 2013. Don't just go for simple name recall. Go for something more, character and substance. Have a good day, everyone.